Hey there. Welcome to episode 11 of the Rugged Angel podcast. I am your host, Kahmeela. Pittsburgh filmmakers, I have some information for you. Registration for the Pittsburgh 48-hour film project opens on May 5th. That's right, we are coming back for another year of crazy fun filmmaking, and I know you want to be involved. If you don't know what the 48-hour film project is, here's the deal. You gather your team of filmmakers and you sign up online beforehand and you go to 48hourfilm.com/Pittsburgh. And then on our kickoff weekend, this year it's July 10th, we will be gathering at Chatham University in their Edie Theater. They are a sponsor again this year and I'm super stoked to have them back. And at that kickoff, you get assigned a line of dialogue, a prop, a genre, and a character. And you have 48 hours to make a 4 to 7 minute film. And then your film gets screened at the Hollywood Theater. How awesome is that? If you want to learn some more about it, make sure to go to 48hourfilm.com/Pittsburgh. Or if you're not in Pittsburgh, find the city that's closest to you. You can also go to our Facebook page, Pittsburgh 48 Hour Film Project, to find out more information. Make sure you like the page, and that way you can be updated on all of the events and important dates that are coming up. And if you're not a filmmaker, but you do support indie film, make sure to come out to the screenings at the Hollywood Theater. That'll also be happening in July. So make sure to stay tuned for more info on that. And if you are a filmmaker, a writer, an editor, an actor, you want to practice cooking for large groups of people because, you know, those crews need to eat, just make sure to check it out and find out what's going on. So this week, my guest is Geri LaRose, who I have been friends with for quite some time. This has probably been one of my most informative episodes yet, because Geri suffers from an illness called gastroparesis. Now, it's an illness that affects your digestive system, and it can be pretty debilitating, but Geri refuses to accept that. She's doing everything in her power to educate herself and others about the illness, and she is keeping 100% active by running marathons and competing in Kettlebell competitions, which don't seem easy. So my hats off to Geri. And I hope you learn a little bit more about this. I do give some information about where to find out more information. Geri has a couple blogs and some Facebook pages where you can find out more info on that. And I'll make sure to post links for that on the website of RuggedAngel.com. And if you haven't done so yet, please like Rugged Angel Productions Facebook page. Please follow me at _Rugged Angel on Twitter. And please subscribe to, rate, and review Rugged Angel Productions on iTunes. Your words of wisdom today. Sometimes you find yourself in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes in the middle of nowhere, you find yourself. Now on with the show. All right, cool. Geri LaRose, welcome to the Rugged Angel podcast.
Hello.
I know I'm popping your podcast cherry. This is the first podcast that you've done, and you weren't even really sure what they were beforehand.
Correct.
And so hopefully we'll get you more interested into podcasts because I think it's an interesting world that you might be. You might get a kick out of, find some things that you want.
I know I'm still stuck in CD land.
Yeah, it's really hard to make that transition of trusting all of your music onto a hard drive or a cloud as opposed to like the physical CDs.
Right.
Because I don't trust it. I like the actual CDs still, even though I still do the downloads and stuff. But it's still hard. I like seeing the actual thing.
I like the artwork.
Yeah.
I like to read the lyrics.
Yeah, and I like to spend something on what I like to actually hold whatever I spent money on.
Right.
So, call me old-fashioned. But, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about you, Geri.
Okay.
Let's talk about your early years.
Okay.
Where were you born? Where were you raised and stuff? Where are you from? Where do you hail from?
Stoneboro, Pennsylvania.
How far is that from Pittsburgh?
About an hour and a half north. Farm country.
Oh,
farmland.
Really?
Yes.
So, did you grow up on a farm or
No, but I have friends who did.
And So you are no stranger to like hay rides and
Oh, yeah,
tractors
not
and
at all. Yeah. We just had it was a good place to grow up because you just, almost every weekend, you just had a bonfire somewhere.
Hmm.
One summer, I spent most of the summer living in a tent in my parents' backyard. I was annoyed with my mother, so I just put a little pop-up tent that you couldn't even stand up in the backyard. And,
You just
yeah.
lived there for the summer.
Yeah, portable phone, portable
Right.
phone,
You-
distance away from the house, so I could still talk on the phone.
How old were you?
I was probably 16, 17.
Nice.
Around those years where mothers and daughters don't really get along too well. but,
Exactly.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So what was like high school like for you?
Small school. I mean, we only had 100 people in our graduating class.
Really?
Everyone knew everyone. Everyone remembered everything you did when you were a little kid, which was
Yeah.
kind of annoying in
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that being a good thing.
Yeah, and my dad taught there, so
Oh, really?
he knew everything.
What did he teach?
Math.
Mm.
Yeah, shocker.
That's right, because you are
A math nerd.
a math nerd.
Yes.
Jerry likes to math. She likes
Yes.
to math all the time.
Yes.
And that's what your actual job is you are a statistical.
Yep, statistical analyst. Yep. And I teach stats class.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one class this semester now.
Is that at Seton Hill?
Seton Hill, yeah.
Okay. So where did you go
Interesting experience.
to? Is it?
Yeah.
Like, so once, I'm sorry, how many times?
I've only done it twice, but I think I'm doing it again this fall. So,
Really?
yeah.
So it's kind of weird because I don't, like, what's that dynamic like? Like, just the age-wise? Because you
It's-
don't strike me, not that you can't be in control, but it's just like, I mean, I know you, like, I've known you so
Yeah.
long, and like, we're actual friends, and
Right.
like, it's hard to see your friends just being like, okay, I'm teaching this class of kids, and
Right. The first couple of classes were a little scary.
yeah.
Yeah. Because you just don't know exactly what you're getting into. But their kids were really nice.
Yeah.
And they were more interested in learning than I thought.
Oh.
But I'm not like a dictator
Right.
teacher, but I do have a line.
Yeah.
And they crossed it once, and because I yelled at them, they all just kind of sat at attention, and it never happened again.
Oh shit! You had to
Yeah.
put the smack down.
Yeah. Hmm.
How-
Because they pretty much could do whatever. I mean, I'm not the only main rule I have is no cell phones.
Mhm.
If your cell phone's out, then you're gonna lose points in
Oh.
the class.
Well,
So
look at
they all kept them put away, which surprised me.
Well, I mean, damn. Like, how hard is it just to put your phone away for an hour?
Right.
Is the class like an hour
It's
long?
3-hour night class.
Oh, 3 hour night class. Okay,
Yeah.
well, in that case,
Yeah.
I-
And I yelled at the one kid to put his phone away, and he said, "But it's my calculator."
oh God. I think at that
I
point,
didn't
aren't they?
think of that.
Well, aren't they supposed to have like
Yeah.
real calculators at that point? This like you're in like a statistics class,
Yeah.
and aren't there? I know there's specific.
They just really need the square root key because they have
Okay.
a software package on their computer. But
Okay.
yeah, he actually was doing his calculator. It didn't even cross my mind that your calculator would be on your phone.
Well, yeah. I guess the phones are like everything
I need
nowadays.
to get up on technology. Podcasts, calculators on your phone.
You're like, oh, whoops, my bad. Yeah, you might want to pay attention to that.
Right.
Was he the only one using it as a?
Yeah, and I felt really bad because he was one of my most attentive students and
Mhm.
answered a lot of questions, because sometimes you stand up there and you ask a question and you just want to go Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller.
Yeah.
And he always answered, and then I yelled at him, and then he didn't talk the rest of the class. I'm like, great, I lost my good
Aw.
participant.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crushed his
LOL.
spirit.
Yeah, yeah. Wah, wah.
Are you good with public speaking?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I presented at a conference before, so that was interesting. I mean, I don't really mind it.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother. I mean, I did theater in college, so
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't bother me.
Well, let's move on to that. Where
Yeah.
did you go to college?
Geneva College
Okay,
in
where-
Beaver Falls. Lovely, beautiful Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania.
Okay. What was that
Yeah.
like?
It was interesting.
Is that a small school?
Yeah, it's
Private?
private Christian school
Okay.
with a lot of annoying rules.
Yeah.
But it was a good school to go to. They didn't have a Greek life, so that was kind of nice in a way.
Yeah, especially now
Yeah.
considering everything that's been coming to light about these Greek.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
not to mention, everybody knew, how terrible they could be.
Right.
But I mean, like now it's just like, oh God, I'm so sick of hearing about it. But yeah, so they didn't have Greek life, and you studied
Business.
business.
Nerd. I started out as a math education major, and then I just didn't want to be a high school teacher with everything they have to deal with, the teachers. I mean, the administration, and then basically everything they do, everyone in town knows about. So I just didn't want to deal with it. And then shortly after I changed my major, that's when Columbine happened. I'm like, yep, definitely not teaching. Definitely out. But, so I switched to business, and I liked the school because it was smaller classes, but just the atmosphere sometimes was just a little much.
Yeah.
It's just...
Was it still, although along the lines of everybody knew everybody else?
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. But it's just, oddly enough, going to a small Christian college made me more liberal in my thinking and mindset, because you just see how kind of closed-minded some of it can be, and how some controlling people can be. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there was one girl, she'd call her mom every time she wanted to do something to ask permission.
Really?
Like, no.
Like you're living on campus, like you're away from mom and you're calling for permission.
Can I go see this movie?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Holy cats.
It's ridiculous.
And so you got into theater while you were there?
Yeah, I did theater there. We had a real small theater. It was actually an old Isley's that got converted into a theater, and the chairs were from the Syria Mosque from Pittsburgh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I did some acting there, and then I did tech work too, like the light board and patching, all of that. And the electrical wasn't very good in there, so it was always a little questionable. You'd patch it in, and then you'd see some sparks fly.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So you learned a lot about electricity and electrical safety.
And you learned that if the lights all go out on the stage during a performance, you just punch the light board, and then they'll pop back on.
So you guys were real high tech.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then they bought another building. They bought a bank my senior year and converted that into another theater space with like actual real everything. So that was kind of nice. But they just closed that this spring.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Sheets bought it, so they're going to bulldoze it.
Oh,
which
man,
is kind of
that
sad.
sucks.
Yeah.
So were you involved in theater like all 4 years?
Yep. Yeah, I was in a touring theater group.
Oh, wow.
For 2 weeks.
What did you prefer, acting or the tech work?
It was a mix. It really depended. The tech work was kind of fun, though.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite productions that you guys did?
We did Waiting for Godot.
Oh, yeah?
Which was pretty fun.
Did
I stage managed that one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Which was pretty scandalous for a Christian school to do a Beckett. Yeah,
so what
that was
made
kind of fun.
Why did
Endgame? We did Endgame as well.
Oh, really?
I acted in that.
Did
so
you?
I had to sit in this little box on stage the whole time. So, oh, man. Yeah.
So why didn't you go on to do anything more with theater?
I just didn't. It's a hard gig, and I just.
It was fun for you. You enjoyed it your time, but that wasn't where you wanted to spend the rest of your life.
I didn't have the determination to do what you got to do to make it. I mean, it's.
Well, that's funny. You know, you should say that you didn't have the determination, because I have been seeing now you seem to be very determined with all these physical challenges.
Yeah.
Like, what are you? You're competing. Like, okay, first I started to notice that you started to get more involved in marathons.
Right.
So where did that come from?
Well, I ran cross country for 6 years. Because my dad is also a cross country and track coach. He's actually the winningest track coach in Pennsylvania history.
Really?
Yeah, he's coached for like 30 some odd years. Ever since I can remember.
Wow.
So, you know how they have Pee-wee football? I did Pee-wee track when I was a kid.
I didn't know they had that.
Yeah. Most people don't. So there's maybe 5 kids. But I ran cross country. I wasn't very good, but I ran. And then I recently, just about 3 years ago, I started to get back into running. And this will be my 8th half marathon in 3 years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, it's just. It's just coming from a person like I just don't see it for things like running just to be running. So just explain to me like why. You know, not that I'm judging. Just like what goes through what makes you want to do this? Like what are
it's the sense of accomplishment.
Okay.
Yeah, you just feel like you've really accomplished something, and it's funny because you go through different stages during the race. Where you first start out and you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then shortly thereafter, you're like, why am I doing this? I have this many more miles to go. And then you reach another point where you're pretty euphoric and you're happy and you're like, oh, this is great. And then by the end, sometimes you're just like, I just want to get this over with.
I just want it to be over.
I've had to hop across finish lines. I mean, I want the medal. If I've gone 10 miles, I want to get the other 3 in to be able to get my medal.
So are you pretty competitive?
I'm real competitive with myself.
Well, I guess that's the best person
Yeah,
to be
it's not
competitive
good.
with.
I've injured myself enough that it's not good.
Oh my God. All right.
Yeah.
So what were some of your worst injuries? And during these marathons or like while just like cross country?
Cross country, the worst one I had is I stepped in a hole, my foot turned backwards, so my toes faced behind me.
Oh.
But I finished the race like an idiot.
How?
And I just yelled at someone, "You're going to have to catch me at the finish line." So
Oh
then
my
they just
God.
caught me and carried me onto the bus, and I was on crutches and stuff for a while.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was a really bad twist. So I've had problems with my knee since then. Right now I have IT band tendonitis in both IT bands, so I go to physical therapy for that.
What is an IT band?
It
sounds like it
connects
hurts.
it's the muscle that connects from your butt all the way down to your knee. So when that gets swollen and it's not working right, then you get really bad knee pain. At least
Oh,
for me,
God.
that's where the pain is. So I had to hang out on a foam roller for a while, ice my knees after. It's
Oof.
really probably, I think this might be my last long run for a while, my last long race for a while.
Is that the half marathon?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh half.
Now,
yeah.
how long was the distance for the half?
13.1 miles.
See, I
Yeah.
just don't understand you people. Like,
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I am happy that you are so determined and you are willing to, like, push on forward and, you have that
Yeah.
in you. But I just can't.
You have to
I
want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah.
But damn, like.
There's a really cool feeling though when a race everything's going right
Uh-huh.
and you just go and
Mhm.
everything's working. It's just a really cool feeling.
About how
when
many
it happens.
people are usually participating in these
The
races?
Pittsburgh one's huge. I mean, it's tens of thousands.
Is this the one that goes through like?
Everywhere. The one
yeah.
that messes up your brunch plans.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the one. And when is that happening this year?
The first Sunday in May.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So I will not plan on brunch for this
Yeah.
for that Sunday.
Yeah.
But then you usually go out and you celebrate and
Oh yeah, and then you
afterwards,
just house
like,
a ton of
eat
food
and eat
after.
and eat.
Yeah.
What's your training like before? Do you do some sort of like
This is-
specified training?
Yeah, so this is the first time, it sounds crazy, but this is the first time I've actually done a regimented training program.
Mhm.
I've usually kind of gone into these with just doing my own type of training.
Uh-huh.
So, but I'm doing it with Fleet Feet Sports, and we started the beginning of January. So you have your runs during the week you do yourself, and then we get together every Sunday morning and do all of our long runs in groups. And we have between 200 and 300 people, I think,
Oh wow.
every Sunday that get together in different parts of the city, and then we do different mileages, different routes, and then you have different pace groups. So depending on how fast you run, you're with a group of people that run as fast as you.
Oh, that's
It's not like my fiance Jason. He's a
Mhm.
gazelle, so he runs with a totally different batch of people than me. And then he has to stand there and wait for me to finish.
Was he already doing these marathons before you guys got together?
He
or
did one. He had done one before
Mhm.
we got together, and then we were both signed up for the next one.
Mhm.
So my first one that I did, he really encouraged me to still do it, even though I had 100-degree fever. So that was the first time I stupidly ran one.
Did you finish okay?
I did, but then I went and got an IV after.
Oh man.
So, but
Ugh, that hurts.
yeah,
So, okay, so you've been training you're currently training for
Right.
that coming up.
right.
So you're also doing kettlebell
Yeah.
competitions.
Yeah.
And, and Geri brought this thing in with her, and I don't understand how. It's 26 pounds,
Yes.
and she apparently does. Explain what you do with this heavy-ass ball.
So,
Or bell.
and yeah.
It's like a bowling ball with a handle.
Yeah, that's a good description actually. So kettlebell sport is, there's not a ton of people that do it, but you just lift it as many times as you can for 10 minutes straight. And there's some of the events you do, or some people that host the competition, you can set it down as much as you want. You can switch hands as much as you want. Some of them you can't set it down at all, and you can only switch hands once. But you're basically swinging it out, and you kind of hike it back like a football. You swing it out, and you hike it back like a football, and then you bring it up into what they call rack position, so up by your shoulder, and then you press it over your head, and then you bring it back down and do that again. And you see how many times you can do that in 10 minutes.
And when did you start doing this, and why?
Well, I started going to this kettlebell club because
That's
it
in
looked
Pittsburgh?
interesting. Yeah, it's over on Green Tree Road, Pittsburgh Kettlebell and Performance. It's really fun. It's almost all girls that go there, and it's fun because it's a real encouraging environment. We all kind of push each other to, keep going or lift heavier or just, but it's nice because they also really stress form so that you don't really hurt yourself.
Gotcha.
And if you start to go too heavy, they actually yell at you, make you go down in weight, things like that. But I started doing that, I don't know, about a year and a half ago, solid going to classes. And then I did my first competition there last year.
Really?
Which was a lot of fun.
Oh, man.
And then we just did one here about a month ago.
What weight did you start with?
22 pounds.
20. So you like, damn, is that the lowest that you can
18.
do? Or, okay, so it's like, damn, you just kind of start
18.
off with like really heavy.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like 10, 12 maybe, but I guess there's really no challenge in that.
Yeah, 18 is the lightest that we have.
Okay.
So, but
and
it's pretty fun though.
And you've moved up in a year to 26.
Right.
And what's your next step? Like, what's the next?
I want to get more repetitions with the 26 is my goal right now.
Okay, so what's your repetition stat? What are your stats, Jerry?
Yeah. The last one we did, I had 91 in 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
With that thing.
Yeah. That's why I brought it.
10 minutes.
Because it's when you lift it,
you're
it's
a
totally
fucking beast.
Different experience.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You're a powerhouse.
Well, no, we have our one trainer. She competes like actually on a circuit.
Uh-huh.
And it's the one where you can only switch hands once. And she does, I think it's 53 pounds, 54 pounds.
Whoa.
And I forget how many repetitions she had, but she just won a...
Wow.
Yeah.
And the one that you did, you were allowed to like switch hands and set it down.
Yeah.
If you need
but I didn't set it down because I'm ridiculous with myself. I'm like, it's only 10 minutes. It'll be over soon. Why take a break?
What kind of burn does that give you? Like, that's gotta be like, it's like
you
crazy.
Feel it's everything because you're also hinging at your hips. So so it was funny because a couple of us afterwards were joking, I don't really feel that bad. And then
like the next
day we're all texting each other, I can't move.
It makes me want to cry just sending this text message.
I need one of those traction machines to pull myself out of bed. It's
my
like
God.
so sore, but it was a good sore because you're like, I just worked all those muscles.
Yeah.
I did that because for me, a lot of it comes from, I was sick. I was like really deathly sick with gastroparesis, the stomach condition. So I couldn't eat. I didn't even have the energy to bathe sometimes. I didn't know if I was going to be able to keep working. So I got better from that. So now it's just, I want to just see what all I can do.
Okay.
It's like, I feel like I lost out on so much time in that period that I'm just want to
well, let's talk about that.
see what I can do.
That's
where all this crazy pushing
that's where it all
from.
that's where it started.
Yeah.
This was kind of like the catalyst to just make you, and a lot of times it does take things like that to push us on to do, like, not necessarily like physical feats of strength or whatever, but just like things you get some sort of news, whether it be you yourself or family or friend member or something, you just kind of see like how fragile life is and how temporary it is, and you just kind of get pushed to want to go ahead and do and accomplish more.
Right.
So tell me, let's talk about more of that gastroparesis.
Yeah, gastroparesis.
Paresis. Yeah. And you were diagnosed with that when?
When was that? 2013, I want to say.
Okay.
It was.
How did you, like, what?
I couldn't eat anything. So I couldn't keep any food down.
Did this come about all of a sudden?
Yeah, it was pretty sudden. I mean, I've had stomach issues my whole life, but never anything to the extent of what this was. I mean, I couldn't eat food. If I ate, my stomach just felt like it was going through a ringer washer.
Really?
And it just, someone stabbing it with a knife. It was horrible. And then just vomiting all the time. I mean, even if I didn't eat, I'd vomit. And it was awful. It was awful. So I got diagnosed with that. Interestingly enough, they make you eat, the test for that is you eat radioactive eggs and drink some radioactive orange juice. And then you go stand behind the x-ray machine and they take a x-ray of your stomach
to see the track of where things are going.
So you're in the hospital all day just sitting there, and then, we're going to go take another x-ray now.
So how has that changed your life? Like, I know that you have to have specialized diets. And so
so for about 6 months or so, I was doing nothing but pureed food. So I just had smoothies of to keep my protein up, tofu, berries, yogurt, Greek yogurt, just whatever I could get in the blender and mix up and drink. But I can't have salad anymore. I can't have lettuce.
Really?
It makes me really sick. A lot of vegetables make me really sick. Anything high in fiber, I can't digest. So I can't have beans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even if like the lettuce or kale or any of the green leafies were being smoothies, you still wouldn't be able to. Well, just their existence.
No. I had maybe about not even a quarter a cup of an avocado and immediately had to go to the emergency room.
Oh,
because
God.
of the pain.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
They gave me a morphine drip and it didn't do anything. So they had to
Really?
special order something in. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And were
That was
you
a
in the
crazy
hospital
experience.
for like an extended period of time while they were
No.
figuring this out, or you just had gone and they checked you
No,
out?
just at home, and then I just had to go in periodically for IVs, or I would just go to MedExpress for IVs. The Green Tree Road MedExpress knows me because I would go in there every couple of months for an IV.
Oh man.
And then I was still doing these races. I was still trying to do half marathons.
Even before you got a handle on everything?
Yeah, which wasn't the smartest, but I was doing them the fundraise for the Digestive Health Alliance, who supports a lot of research, and they give scholarships out for research on gastroparesis because there's no cure, there's no medication. I got better, I think, through acupuncture. I started getting that.
Okay.
So, but I had a race shirt that I got made, and on the back of it, it says, "At least I'm faster than my stomach," because what it is your stomach. It takes longer to digest food, so it takes me like 8 times as long to digest food as anyone else.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Man. Okay, so I know that you do have a blog.
Yeah, I have
with
a couple.
all this. A couple?
Yeah.
And they're all on this topic?
One's on this topic, and then one's more fitness stuff, but I haven't really done much on the fitness one.
Okay.
I haven't written on the gastroparesis one in a while, and I should, because I still get hits on it all the time.
Yeah.
People
Because
still comment.
from what I can tell, from what I've read on your blog, is that this is something that it's not something that, like you said, there's no cure for it. And
Right.
it's something that not many people know about.
Right.
But a lot of people have.
5 million.
5 million people
in the
that are
US.
suffering from this.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people that have it, I'm very fortunate. A lot of people that have it have to get feeding tubes, and they're permanently on a feeding tube. So the whole time I was trying to get better, that's what I was fighting against. Was I'm not going to go on a feeding tube.
Right.
I did not want to do it.
So what was like the...
And then they have to get gastric pacemakers, so basically a electrostimulator they implant into your stomach, and then it electroshocks your stomach to make it spasm so
Really?
you don't digest food. So they were talking about needing to do that for me, and I'm just, no. Hell
Yeah,
no. I don't want to do that. So I just started doing anything I could to figure out how to get myself better.
Yeah. And good
So-
on you for taking control of your own health
Right.
like that. So it's just basically you have found, like, through understanding the
Right.
condition for one, and because I know that I'm sure that you like put your went
Right.
head first dive
Yeah.
into research
Right.
and trying to figure out like any
Right.
and everything about
Like,
it.
someone gave the best description. They said, when I go into something, I'm like the Kool-Aid man. I burst through the wall and I'm all in. So, so yeah, it's a really good
that's a
description.
great description about how you go through life.
Yeah.
So you
So-
got a grasp of that, and then you
Right.
you changed your own like eating habits,
Right.
and
Yep.
also you got more into exercising and
Right.
fitness and that lifestyle of it, and you said acupuncture also
Right.
helped you
Yes.
considerably.
Significantly. I seriously think that that's what has gotten me to where I am now.
Really, have you
Yeah,
ever
it's
done?
amazing.
Had you ever done acupuncture before?
Nope. I read some other gastroparesis blogs about it where some people were having success with it. And my one friend who's a therapeutic masseuse, she told me I need to find a place that did digestive massages.
Oh.
So I found a place in Pittsburgh that does those, and they had an acupuncturist on staff there.
Really?
So I was like, well, might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how often do you go? Or
When I was really sick and first started going to him, it's kind of like a chiropractor. If you've ever gone, you go a
Yeah.
lot at first, and
Yeah.
then it's just maintenance.
yeah.
Yeah, I was going, I think, 3 times a week.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, it was really expensive.
Hmm.
So, but, I mean,
It's worth it.
It's your
in the long-
health.
right. It's
it's your
definitely worth it.
livelihood, your way of life. I mean, it was Yeah.
Yeah. Has it changed anything more of your day to day, like just your regular? Has it
Um,
changed it dramatically? Just, I mean, aside from paying more attention to what you're eating.
yeah, just
Or the,
the eating really.
hmm.
And then I still whenever there's a really big weather shift, I have to be really careful
Hmm.
because I get my flare ups
Really?
more often. Yeah, when
With
there's
the
a weather
weather
change.
change?
The
Really?
spring's really hard for me.
Really?
Yeah, because I'll start to get stomach spasms a little bit, and I mean it's not as bad as it was before, and nausea,
Oh,
but I do have medicine for the nausea, thankfully, which
that's
helps
good.
a lot. But yeah, the spring's bad. It's really interesting actually because the barometric pressure. I'm going to totally nerd out
All
here.
right, do
The
it.
barometric pressure outside, your body is the inverse of that. So if there's a big shift in barometric pressure outside, then there's
Uh-huh.
a shift internally in the pressure inside. So that shifts the pressure on all your organs inside.
Really?
Yeah.
The more you know. Well,
Yeah.
I would have never ever thought about anything like that
Yeah.
ever. So,
Yeah.
so why? Like, now I'm like,
Random fact of the day.
so like, what would that mean for like, how could that be explained for people, for everybody else? Like, if you don't have
I
this
think
sort of condition,
people
like,
with I think it's
like just things
interesting
like,
because I know a lot of people now and I guess for lack of a better term, the chronic illness circle. And everyone's chronic illnesses all seem to flare up around the same time.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that people like with like muscle or joint or bone,
Right. Right.
past injuries or pains and stuff, that usually
Right.
the temperature usually wreaks havoc on that
Right.
situation.
People predict the weather, the rain with their knees
Yeah.
and things. Yeah.
So damn, Jerry. So you're like running around here with like gastroparesis
Yep.
and like a swollen IT
Yeah.
band.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
first of all, this has been the most educational session that I've had this podcast as of yet, because I've learned
Leave
quite
it
a
to
bit.
the nerd. Hey, they say nerds will inherit the earth.
Yes, they will. So what is you've got to reward yourself with something, like after like you've pushed
yeah.
and pushed and pushed. What are like some of the things that you like at the end of it all, outside of the fact that you did it, outside of just that reward of knowing that you've accomplished yet another half marathon, or another kettlebell competition,
For me, the half marathons are
or
exciting.
winning against yourself.
Yeah,
Like,
I can pretty much eat whatever I want and not get sick after a half marathon. I mean, I still can't eat like the lettuce or an avocado or anything, but I can house a ton of food, which I normally can't do.
oh really?
Yeah. So
So
I
it's just
usually
after
go
you
get a
expelled all
big
that-
thing of lasagna, or if I'm in Pittsburgh, usually just Mad Mex, go house some Mad Mex. And then a massage. That's always a nice treat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one. Oh man.
I don't know. I don't do a ton to treat myself, actually. I'm just like, yeah, I did it. Okay, what's next? Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So speaking of gluttons of punishment, I know that this is wedding season for you. You're
Yes.
getting married.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, let's add that to the mix.
Right, exactly. Just one more thing to worry
Right,
about
right.
in what you're doing. Damn, girl.
Yep.
When is the big day?
May 31st.
Are you nervous? Excited?
Uh,
Are all your ducks in a row?
Yeah. I have a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Oh, who am I talking to? Like, what am I doing right now?
in the
Of
fall.
course, everything is situated.
Well, it helps too because my fiance Jason is also a nerd. He's a computer scientist.
Oh my goodness.
So I mean, yeah. So
This is going to be the most well organized and planned out wedding
Yeah,
ever.
it's ridiculous.
Like, how many different
have-
spreadsheets do you guys have?
we have this one big list we made in the fall, and then we actually kind of categorized it by month of what we wanted to get done each month. We just say, as long as we get that done, then hey, we're good for that.
That's a good way to go
Yeah.
about it. Just
Yeah.
like, don't overwhelm yourself with like, this stuff needs to be
Who
done.
cares
Just
if
like,
these other things are done because there's a schedule, and as long as we stay somewhat to it, then it'll get done somehow. But we decided to have we have a lot of family from out of state, so we decided to have a big family picnic the night before.
Oh, cool.
Because we had to have our rehearsal in the morning. So we're like, well, everyone's going to be in town. We're going to want to see everyone. At a wedding, you don't really get to see everyone.
Right.
So we're going to have a big family picnic, and that is what had me more stressed out than anything because we actually had to figure out the food for that. But my mother-in-law to be really wanted to be in charge of something and was hinting. So I'm like, have at it. Enjoy.
Thank you. Take it.
Yes.
It's yours. What is the, besides the actual wedding itself, what are you looking most forward to for the day?
Hopefully it'll be sunny because it's outside. Just
it's outside.
Yeah.
Where is it going to be?
Suck Up Nature Park.
Suck Up Nature Park?
Yeah, in Butler County. There is a house on the grounds, but
why is it's called Suck Up
Yes.
Nature Park?
Yes.
SUCCUP, I'm assuming.
SUCCOP. Yeah, I know the name's really ridiculous. They were called Suck Up Conservancy, but they just changed it, and we think it's because no one can spell conservancy. That's our theory. But yeah, it should be. I think it's just spending the day outside. I mean, we're gonna have some lawn games and stuff. Cornhole.
So the whole thing,
and
so like the wedding and reception is going to be
it's
outside.
all one-stop shop.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we go to the Finger Lakes every year. So we try to find Finger Lakes wine in Pennsylvania to have. So.
Well, I know that you're like, one of the things I like about you, like you're like no nonsense broad, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're not really, much like me, you're not really too much into the girly aspect of a lot of things.
Right.
And I saw that you posted on your Facebook your wedding shoes.
Yes.
Please describe your wedding shoes.
There's some turquoise New Balance.
That's amazing.
What are they, 584s? Is that what they
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. You're going to do some mall walking afterwards.
Those are amazing. Like, they're super cute.
I'm going to be on my feet all day.
Right.
I want to be comfortable.
Are you wearing a dress?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they're hemming it just a little bit shorter than floor length.
So you get like a little peek at the shoes?
Yep. And I'm going to be outside, so then it's not catching on stuff.
Yeah.
And the guys are all wearing running shoes. Like, Jason's
awesome.
wearing running shoes, like bright neon running shoes. All the guys are wearing them. The girls are wearing Keds, I think.
I can't wait to see those pictures.
Yeah.
I'm sure your wedding party like loves you for that
decision. They both said, we only have 2 on each side, and they both said that I'm such a bridezilla.
You're a bridezilla?
Yeah, because I'm just really making them be uncomfortable.
Yes, they hate you for the running shoes.
Their dresses were, I think, $30 each. Was all. We found them online. One was from ModCloth.
Oh, really?
The other one we found some other website. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got one from there and then one from somewhere else because they're 2 totally different builds. So I'm like, I'm not putting them in the same dress.
Yeah, that's
just mean.
No, that's right. That's like the best.
Like, it's not going to look good on both. You get all those different.
And that's always one of the things.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that always just like kind of frustrated me about the wedding.
Right.
Whatever in general is that why do you need to have everybody in the same outfit, and especially if like you've got like all of your friends and family are not going to be the same body type,
right?
And so it's not going to look good on everybody,
right? Someone's always going to get
rude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's going to be at least one girl who's gets stuck in something that makes her look blotchy or too big or something, and and then we're not doing a bouquet toss because we said at our age it's public shaming. Be like, hey, you 4 people, get out there. Nice.
I mean, and then the odds of like 2 cousins catching the bouquet and the garter are pretty high. It's pretty high. So we're like, no, we're not. Let's just
good call.
Abort that right now.
What are you doing for food?
They're catering it. Yeah. Yeah, so
the Suck Up National Park.
yeah. They have a place. I was nervous because the caterer's from Newcastle.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Newcastle, but no, they're really good. We did the tasting, and oh my gosh, it was amazing.
And I think you're having cupcakes.
Yep. Yeah.
We had cupcakes at our wedding.
Yeah.
I love that. Where are you getting your cupcakes from?
Tin Man Sweets in Evans City.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a tiny little shop. They're a little goofy, but they're
delicious.
Yes.
They're
not too
that
sweet. Sometimes they're just too sickeningly sweet. Yeah, they're not too sweet.
Like, so. I like to get mine from Vanilla over in Regent Square, and like that's the one place where if I'm near it, I cannot pass by it.
See, I've never been in there. This is the 3rd
good.
time today I've heard about the place.
Really? It's so good. And that's like, it goes along that same lines. It's not too sweet. Like, they have this ridiculously delicious frosting on there. And it's like buttercream, I think, style is what it is.
Right.
So it's not really sweet, and it's like they put a ton on there, and I could in theory probably eat it all and be fine with it, but I usually like take half of it off just because I don't like.
Yeah, I love icing.
But they're so good, and they have like some of the best flavors, and I think like the vanilla caramel one is my favorite one, and
I'm gonna have to
oh
go
my
in
god,
there now.
so good, so good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go over there.
I know. Now all I can think about are cupcakes. I'm like, oh, are they open on the way home? Yeah.
All right, so what's your next marathon? Is coming up
May, I don't know, whatever the first Sunday in May is.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
This is the half one. May first Sunday. That's going to ruin my brunch plans.
Yes.
And you're like heavy into training right now with it.
Yeah.
When's your next kettlebell competition?
The last weekend in June. Oh, so 2 weeks after my honeymoon.
Where are you guys going for your honeymoon?
The Canadian Rockies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do there? Is there rock climbing and stuff, or is it going to like relaxing?
It'll be a mix. So we're flying into Calgary, and then we're going out to what's called Banff and Lake Louise, Alberta. Okay. So in Calgary, we found out there's the Calgary Olympic Park, and you can ride a bobsled.
Oh, really?
On the Olympic track.
Ah, that's fun.
So that'll happen. Because we saw that you can zip line off the ski jump. And so we really wanted to do that, but the price was a little, I don't know, because you don't get to do any other zip lines. It's just a one and done. And then we saw, oh, wait, there's a package? What's in the package? Bobsled?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Are you guys into a lot of those extreme sports? Like, I know you like to snowboard a lot.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't call snowboarding.
I didn't make it out this year at all. Yeah.
Just because time-wise with everything else?
Yeah, and then every Sunday we were running. So and it's expensive anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, Hidden Valley's $50-some for a lift ticket now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just expensive.
Because I know you like absolutely love. That's like your favorite part of the winter.
I know, I love it.
I can't believe you didn't make it out at all.
No, instead it was a crazy person running and
all the snow
in the winter.
Crap.
Yeah.
You are a crazy person.
But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun. We found a it's called a Via Ferrata. It's kind of like rock climbing. It's like rock climbing for beginners. They have these metal little ladder things into the side of the mountain. So you basically are climbing a ladder up, and you're all hooked in and everything. So I think we're gonna do that.
Have you done rock climbing before?
No.
Have you even like the walls in like REI or something?
No. We're gonna go over. I think there's a place in Regent Square where you can go climb around. So if you fall off, you fall in a big thing of foam.
Okay.
Why wouldn't that be fun?
Right. So, yeah, totally. I just don't see it for things like that. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Please be careful.
The idea of falling into some foam is fun.
Well, yeah, that I would I'd be fine with.
Right.
But like this whole, even with their metal ladders and whatnot, the actual climbing of a rock, that's just, please be careful, is what I'm saying.
What's funny is I'm not scared of that, but they have a glacier out there, and they have this big skywalk that goes out over the glacier, and it's all glass. Ooh. So the floor's glass, the sides are glass, and I'm terrified.
Yeah, I'm getting like weird just thinking about that.
And Jason's asking, how am I not afraid to go climb up the side of the mountain, but I don't want to go out on the glass? I'm like, well, I'm hooked into something. Right.
And plus, I think you have more control over what's going to happen, like with rock climbing as opposed to.
Oh, I'm just going to walk out on some glass.
It's just like virtually. It's just nothing. Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we are going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with some fun stuff.
All right.
This episode of the Rugged Angel Podcast is brought to you by Fitness with a Twist Greensburg, Greensburg's only pole fitness and dance studio exclusively for women. They've blended yoga, Pilates, cardio, and strength training with the fun and excitement of pole dancing. This is an exclusive opportunity for an intense full-body workout that will boost your self-confidence and sculpt your body. You can check them out at fitnesswithatwistpgh.com. They're also on Facebook at fitnesswithatwist-greensburg, and you can give them a call at 412-538-7490. Fitness with a Twist, Greensburg. Oh my God. Okay, so we are back, and so we're going to do some just some silly stuff, and we're going to first. I asked Jerry to pick a number from 9 to something, and the page is at 271 as how many pages I have in this book, and she picked 333. So take her math class,
Yes.
and you'll. But
I'm not awake.
but so we rectified that, and she picked 133. And so on this page, this is the chapter on love and sex. And there are like 20 questions on this page. And I just picked one question off the page, or just one thing. And this is the least racy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Damn, I lost it. Oh, how old were you on your first date, and what was the experience like?
Oh. Boy, I gotta remember. I'm going back in the archives for this one. What was my first date? I would say it's probably mini golf, and it's probably 9th grade.
And was
I
was this a date you wanted to be on, or was?
Oh yeah. I dated the guy off and on all through high school. Actually.
Oh really?
Yeah. He's
So
still a good friend. Yeah, but we played mini golf, and I was goofing around, and so I hit the ball really hard, and it went flying out of the mini golf place.
Nice.
And the guy didn't want to lose his deposit, so he went and searched for it.
Wait a minute, there's a deposit
Yeah,
at mini golf?
there's something, you didn't.
Or like something like you give
Yeah.
like your ID or something.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
something like that.
I mean, that was the big thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Stealing mini golf balls.
Yeah, I loved mini golf. Yeah, I haven't been in so long. Like, it's been years since I've played mini golf. But
We went recently to that place in Monroeville with the cement sculptures that are all paint's peeling off them. It's not.
is that outside?
Yeah, it's not very good.
Oh, I know there was one like an indoor one.
Oh,
Here, like
yeah,
glow
yeah.
in the dark or something.
Yeah, I
like
remember
that.
we went to that one.
Okay.
we were 20 years older than everyone in there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So now, because I know we're gonna move on to the top 5 list,
Okay.
and because I know Geri is much like me, is where she's like crazy person about 80s music.
Yes.
And we missed that time period, so I gave her the
Don't peek.
I wanted her to give me her top 5 80s songs, and I also
That's
made a
hard.
list. Yeah, it was difficult for me too, and I kept like coming up with other things. I think my list was like 15 before I had to like
Right.
whittle it down.
And then I had to think, okay, I can only pick one from this band. I'm not going to pick 2 because I could probably just do my top 5 of certain bands.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely. And yes, this is being recorded for posterity, and it's not like, you need to stick to this this is just for today, at this
Right.
moment, right now. These
Because
are your
I
top
changed
5.
one on the way
All
over
right.
there.
At this
I was
moment.
listening to First Wave, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that song. I had to make a swap on this list here.
All right.
All right.
Gimme.
All right. Dead or Alive, Spin Me Round.
Ah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, you
I
like the
love
new
that
wave.
one. Oh, yeah. You're going to find a theme, actually. I'll save the non-new wave one for last then.
as the surprise.
Yeah. And, of course, you knew there would be some Depeche Mode.
Yes, of course.
So I went with Policy of Truth.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I could have just gone all 5 Depeche Mode. Note for listeners, if you've never gone to a Depeche Mode concert, go.
I've never been to one.
Amazing.
But didn't you recently go to one or something?
Yeah, it's
Or-
been a few years, but
Okay.
yeah. I went to 2 on the same tour, and oh my
Ah.
God, amazing. The Cure. You knew there would be Cure.
Yep.
Sinking.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah. The bass line is,
Sick.
yes. I'm obsessed with it. Mainly because I'm obsessed with their bassist.
Were you in that time period? Did you do the Were you like heavy into Cure? Like, were you like mimicking like the way, like the dress and attire?
No, because I didn't start listening to them until my later years in
Oh,
college.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So they were a late find for you.
Yes.
And it was still, they had that much
Oddly
impact.
Enough, it was because I was in a play, Midsummer's Night Eve, and I was a fairy, and I decided I was just going to do my hair this weird, crazy way.
Uh-huh.
And one of the guys said, "Oh, you're trying to look like Robert Smith." I'm like, "What are you even talking about?"
Who's that?
And then that's when it all started. I was
Oh.
like, "Oh, okay then. Yes, I that is what I was doing." So, And the one I swapped in on the way here was Soft Cell, Tainted Love.
Oh, yeah. That's, I mean, how can you not have that one on there?
Duran Duran got bumped.
Oh, no!
For Tainted Love.
Oh, no!
I know. So I was like, I gotta have a Duran Duran one on here for Kahmeela. But they got bumped on the way. I was like, oh, sorry, Tainted Love. That's a great one. And then my last one, this will come as a surprise. Madonna, Into the Groove.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a really good song, though.
Yeah.
Like, it almost made it on my list, but I don't know. Like, yeah, that's such a good song. I like to dance to that.
Yeah. And
lot.
Sonic Youth does a really good cover of it.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Called Into the Groovy.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I've never said his name right, Masses from Dinosaur Jr. plays guitar on it.
Oh, cool.
And I think it's because he actually properly plays guitar. Not the crazy Sonic Youth version of playing guitar. Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with Sonic Youth that much, but I did see them. My first concert ever was Lollapalooza in '96, and they were there.
That'd be amazing.
So I have seen them live. And
they did the arts festival here the one year. We camped out for the whole day so we could be in the front row.
How'd that work out?
We got the front row. I have some great photos from it.
Was it an awesome show?
Yeah, it was the last year that they actually had the bands out in the actual Point State Park.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we think Sonic Youth is what screwed it for everyone.
Why?
Because
what
they just played forever.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
It was dark, and they were just still going. And it was funny because I still remember this. The security guard looked miserable the entire time. I mean, he looked like, what the hell is going on? They were like jamming their guitars in the bushes, and he just turns and looks. And he's like, what the hell is happening here? Everyone's cheering, because there's like shrubbery stuck in the guitars. And then they left the stage, and he goes, just clear out. They're not coming back. They have to be done by dark.
Uh-huh.
And my friend's, drunk.
Right.
And she's like, they're not going to care about the rules. And about an hour later, they were still going, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
So that's not really 80s, but... yeah, Into the Groovy. Look that up.
You'll like I will.
Yeah, but I love that one.
All right,
Madonna's version even.
My list is.
I know there's Duran Duran on there.
Obviously. Rio. We'll just start off with that. That is my jam. And I don't think I saw Duran Duran with you. We went to see Stone Temple Pilots.
Yeah, but I did see Duran Duran when Icy Light was still down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were
great.
probably. That was such a good show.
Yes.
It was amazing. And I think that was the one I've seen them twice live.
They're amazing.
Yeah, and like the first time I saw them, I think that was just like around the time, and they weren't really like the full band anymore. It was like it was Simon Le Bon, and I don't think John Taylor was with them at that point. And I think I had free tickets or something. But then they came back, and it was like the whole band, and I was so pumped. And
they were so good.
It was such a great show. And then Rio, I'm pretty sure that was their encore song.
Right.
And I was so like pissed. Like I'm just like waiting around. I'm like, just play Rio. And then like the show ends, and I'm like, if they don't come back out and do Rio, I'm going to cry real tears.
Yeah.
And they did, and it was amazing. And they're all still like really good. And I even like, I forget the name of it, but I like some of their newer stuff too. Their new album they have out. I think it was released like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. But yeah, I still consistently listen to that album at Rio.
Yeah, I know. All the Duran Duran's good.
Oh yeah. Every Little Thing She Does by The Police. Like mine are more like the pop ones.
Right. Right.
But that's such a good song. Like I can't, if it ever comes on just randomly, I'm just like instantly like yes, or like I'll be on a movie or something. It's like I love this song. This is my favorite. It just makes me so happy.
I just never have gotten into The Police. I don't know what it is.
Huh.
I
don't know. I don't know. I think like, and a lot of these songs, not just these ones on the list, but a lot of like 80s stuff, it's all, because, we were around for like the first incarnation, like the very first incarnation of MTV. And
right.
So like, like Duran Duran and The Police, like they were among some of the first people that had music videos.
When they played music.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
MTV music videos on
exactly.
MTV.
And so like, I think... So it's like Duran Duran and like The Police and even like some NXS are like some of the first ones that I have first music videos I ever saw. I was like 6 or 7 years old, and they just like made an impression. And so it's just like wow. Did you see that? Speaking of NXS, did you see that documentary or not?
No.
That is not a documentary. It's more of a like biopic.
No, I haven't.
It was really good. I think it was on Showtime.
See, yeah, we don't have a cable.
Well, it was probably it was on Showtime a couple years ago, so it's probably
yeah.
like on Netflix or something.
I'll have to check
But
it out
yeah,
now.
it's so good. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was. So there's Rio, Every Little Thing, Separate Ways with Journey. How do you not hear that synthesizer and not get pumped, Jerry? Come on.
I don't think I even know it.
Are you serious?
I've never listened to much
This
Journey.
is-
Here it comes.
Here
I
it
know.
comes.
I need
Here it comes.
educated.
Yes, I can't let this go. I can't let this abide. Like you need to. I need to remedy this because you'll probably know it as soon as I.
Yeah, it probably will be. That's always the case with that stuff. Like, oh, that's it.
And there's really not much Journey that I'm into either. Like it's just like maybe 2 or 3 songs, and then like 2 of what's the name? Steve Perry songs from the '80s when he was on his own.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know that. That sweet, sweet jam that you rock out to.
Yeah. I don't think I have ever known the name to that.
You're welcome.
I did hear someone once refer to that as the Chariots of Fire song. I'm like, no, that's not it.
No, absolutely not. That's not.
Chariots of Fire.
Stray Cat Strut. The Stray Cats.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Because I love me some Brian Setzer in all forms, like rockabilly, his
Right.
classical, crazy, his orchestra, like his instrumental stuff, and I just love it. And I actually saw him. He did a Christmas show here like 2 or 3 years
really?
ago at Carnegie, the music hall.
Yeah.
Or
They
the
get some good
library
stuff
thing.
there
Yeah.
anymore.
And it's such like a great space too,
Right.
because it's not that big, and like we were like second row, I think, like right on the floor, and we didn't pay anything extra for our
Morrissey
tickets.
was supposed to play there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did or not because he always cancels stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah, I
not
did
sure.
hear that.
I'm not sure if that actually happened or not.
But yeah, so Brian Setzer, he still kicks so much ass.
Yeah.
Like he's got so much energy. I don't know how old he is, but he's working it hard.
I saw Devo and they were still.
Really?
Yeah.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was.
Where did
They're
you see
crazy.
them?
The American Eagle place on the north side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just a couple years ago.
Oh man.
Yeah. That was another one where I was like, oh yeah, I know that song. That's Devo.
And lastly, and this was like a tough one, Twilight Zone by Golden Earring.
I know that one.
Oh man. Okay, of course I'll play it for you, Jerry.
I'm gonna have to play you syncing now.
Yeah, okay.
You'll be like, oh, this is so slow.
When does it kick in?
Yeah. They were fun. I got to see them. They did, The Cure did a festival. Oh man, this was years ago now. Doesn't seem like that long ago, but they hosted their own festival. And they had like Interpol on it. They
Oh,
had
really?
all of these.
Wow.
The Rapture, all these good bands.
Huh.
Basically people that Robert Smith had heard and he just liked.
Yeah.
And so we got tickets for The Pit, which it's just,
Right.
at our age, it's just, oh, you just want to go stand close.
Right.
And yeah, so we were in the front for that. And I think my cheeks hurt for about 3 days.
I was so excited.
It's like, oh, bastards wouldn't let me take my camera in. That's how old it was. No camera,
God.
no camera phones back then. Oh yeah, I know this one. Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah, and it's so fun to like just blast out, and it's like I don't know, 12 minutes long or something. And then
Right.
there's like
Right.
this long like break in the middle of it, just a bass line. That's all it is, just the bass.
Yep. I forgot about that
So,
song.
yeah. So basically, I miss the 80s. That was like my favorite time period of music, like ever. I think I can't get behind too much
I'm
stuff
tied
now.
between new wave and Britpop. I'm a big Britpop fan
yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, and also I guess the 80s and like grunge. It's
Right,
also
right.
a tough one for me
Yeah.
as well, because that. Oh man, I really miss that time period too.
Yeah, that was
Like,
good.
Yeah, good stuff.
I was
Good
mad
times.
at Stone Temple Pilots. They didn't play Dead and Bloated. That was the one
That's
I
right.
really wanted.
Yeah.
But he had his megaphone.
I am smelling like a rose.
We used to listen to that in the tent.
Oh, really?
on the tape deck. Until the tape got all like overused and got all like wobbly.
Yeah,
you know?
all raggedy and gross, and you had to
wore it
like
out.
perform surgery, cassette tape surgery.
Right.
So I know that so we're about done
All right.
here. Game of Thrones is coming back on tonight.
Yes.
Are you super stoked about that?
Yes.
And you've been
I'm excited.
like you watch it as it's on.
We'll watch it on a 1-day delay.
Gotcha. That's right. So you've been marathoning today. Or this week-ish.
We have well, we watched last season, but we have the DVDs from some friends to refresh our memories.
Yeah, so much stuff happens,
Right.
and it's difficult for me to keep it straight.
Right.
So
we're going to be finishing it up today, probably
Nice.
tonight. That's the other thing I forgot to mention that I reward myself with, a good binge watching session.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
No,
So-
what are some of the things you like to binge watch?
Lately, I've been binge watching Friends. What girl our age is not?
Exactly.
What else have I don't know.
Did-
I can't even tell
Just
you what I've been-
Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix shows.
Did you
House
see
of
that?
Cards, Peaky Blinders.
Did you see that Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
I've heard about that. Someone just told me about that.
That's
So that's
actually pretty
next
funny.
up for the binge watching.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The Fall.
I haven't seen
That's
that one
Gillian
yet.
Anderson.
Oh,
and
okay.
the guy from 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, you would like it.
Huh. Yeah, that one and Peaky Blinders I want to check out.
Peaky Blinders is good.
And I know Daredevil just was up yesterday, I think.
Peaky Blinders, you got to give a couple episodes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, a lot of characters getting introduced. The
Gotcha.
first couple. So
I really like Cillian Murphy.
yeah, me too. He's
There's-
really good at it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jerry,
Yeah,
for doing
thank
this.
you.
Now that you've completed your first podcast.
Yeah.
Are you good? How you feel about it? You
I feel
stuck?
good. Now I just got to figure out how to go listen to it.
Well, funny you should ask that. We are on iTunes,
Okay.
and you can rate and subscribe and review us on iTunes. We're also on SoundCloud. It's all can be found under Rugged Angel Productions, Rugged Angel one word. And where can we find you online, Jerry? Where's your blog? Where can we?
Well, it is on Facebook and the World Wide Web. www. I didn't think about this when I named it. adventureswithgastroparesis.com and also online at Adventures with Gastroparesis. So gastroparesis is GASTROPARESIS. And also the other one that I'm not keeping up with, I keep up with the Facebook page though, is Reclaimed My Health.
That's the Facebook page and the blog name,
Yep.
Reclaimed My Health.
Yep.
Okay, great. And I'll make sure to put links on on all of your stuff on the website, ruggedangel.com. And you guys can also, are you on Twitter? Do you?
I have a personal Twitter account.
I did
And I
find
don't
one
even
of
know. I don't even know when I've last logged in.
Okay, so basically,
Adventures with Gastroparesis is on Twitter, but I've not logged in a long time.
Okay, so basically, what we're saying here is, Jerry, you need to get up on
I'm
your
stuck
shit.
in the 90s. In fashion.
Your music choices
My
and
music.
technology.
Yeah.
All right, so hopefully Jerry will update some stuff on her blogs.
Yes,
and
I will.
But in the meantime, I'm sure there's very interesting other entries that you can check out and wait for her. And also you can bug her about putting more stuff up there. And you can follow me at _RuggedAngel on Twitter. And thank you again, Jerry, for taking the time. And much success on your wedding and your half marathon and your next kettlebell competition and just
Yes.
basically kicking ass.
Thanks.
Thank you for kicking ass, Jerry.
Aw, thank you for kicking ass. In other ways. In technology ways.
This has been a Rugged Angel production.